During this portion of the cam. This is low point. The tool is about to cut into the bar of stock. Actual machining occurs during the feed portion on the cam. At high point or dwell, the tools are allowed to finish their cut before they are withdrawn and index occurs. The rise of a cam is the vertical distance between low point and high point. This is the locating hole. It enables you to locate the cam properly on the camshaft. The layout sheet contains information about the sequence of events involved in producing one part. The lead cam may be stamped with these operations at the point on the cam at which they are to occur. The timing of each cutting operation can be seen. The cam circle is divided up into 100 segments. The locating hole is always the 0 point or starting point. Each operation is indicated in 1/100ths of cam rotation. For example, the stock feeding operation occurs here between 0 and 3. Indexing of the turret takes 3/100ths of cam surface. It occurs between 3 and 6. The layout sheet will show the numbers of hundredths each operation will take and will enable you to properly set up cams, trip dogs, and tools. To remove a lead cam, loosen the holding nut with a wrench. Once the nut is removed, use a lever to raise the cam roller from the cam. The cam can now be removed. Lead cams can be put on backwards. Check carefully when replacing the cam. Note the direction of cam rotation. The top of the cam will be coming toward you during normal operation. Be sure the low point of the cam lobes contacts the rollers first. Tighten the nut securely once the cam has been replaced. Your layout sheet may indicate the distance the turret should be from the spindle at the high point of one operation. In this example, the turret should be adjusted to be 5 1/8 inches from the spindle when the cam roller is at the top of the first stop lobe. Hand crank the machine to the high point of the lobe indicated. Loosen the locking nut on the turret slide adjusting screw. Adjust the screw for the correct dimension. The front and rear cross-slide cams are located here on the double-aught machine. The cross-slide cams for the number 2 model machine are located here. The vertical slide cams are mounted here. Has a riser block in place. Mount the form tool holder to the cross slide and center the tool using the same procedure shown for the cutoff tool. A line can now be scribed in the bar by advancing the cutoff tool into the bar by hand. The scribed line will enable you to set the horizontal position of the form tool on the cross slide. Lock down the tool holder securely. The depth of cut can now be set. Be sure the positive stop screw and the cross-slide adjusting screw have been backed off before you begin. Hand crank the machine to the high point of the front cross-slide cam. Start the spindle. Advance the tool into the work using the cross-slide adjusting nut. Continue to advance the tool into the work until you cut a part which is 3 to 5 thousandths under the correct part size. Now turn the positive stop screw down until it contacts the machine. Increase the pressure on the positive stop screw slightly. Start the machine and cut another part under normal cutting conditions. Check the part size. Continue to increase the tension on the positive stop screw slightly until you cut a part to the correct size. Then lock down the stop securely. If you continue to have variations in part size as you run a job, you may need to increase positive stop tension slightly. Be careful. Too much tension can cause unnecessary damage to your machine. As an operator of the Brown & Sharpe screw machine, you must be able to identify the different types of drill. Is called short feed. If you find the machine producing short parts, check the following possible causes. Normal vibration of the machine may cause the feed adjusting knob to change its position. This may cause short feed. Feeding of too much stock can also cause short feed. The bar stock will bounce back off the stock stop before the collet closes. You must also check the bar stock to be sure it is the proper size. Next, check the feed fingers. They may not have the correct gripping pressure, which could allow the bar stock to slip during the feed stroke. You should next check the collet for proper tension. If the tension is not correct, the end tools will push the bar stock into the collet, causing short parts. If the collet is functioning properly, check the end tools to see if they are dull or have chip buildup on the cutting edge. If the drills are dull, you will have to sharpen them. Be sure you measure the exact position of the drill before removing it, as the drill must be placed in the same position after sharpening. The remainder of the training tape will show you how to sharpen the basic tools. Drills, like other cutting tools, get dull. Into the turret. Visually align the tool holder in the turret and then tighten the clamp bolt securely. This is the eccentric bushing. When the spindle is rotating in the forward direction, the hole in the bushing should be towards the top of the fixture. With backward spindle rotation, the hole should be towards the bottom of the fixture. The recessing tool mounts into the bushing and will be held in place by a set screw which will pass through the hole in the side of the bushing. You can now insert the eccentric bushing and recess cutting tool into the holder and snug it down. Index the turret by hand to be sure the bump screw clears the cross-slide riser block. Hand crank the machine until the turret cam roller is on the top of the recess lobe of the lead cam. The recess lobe will have a short rise and a long dwell portion. The long dwell gives time for the cross slide to move the cutting tool in and out of the stock before the tool is pulled out by the turret. You can now set the location of cut. Measure from the edge of the cutoff blade to the tool. You must also center the tool. Use the cutoff blade as reference. The cutting edges of both tools should be parallel when the recess tool is properly centered. Lock the tool down securely once it is properly set. Engage the stock feed dog on the trip lever. Start the machine and stop it at the beginning of the recessing lobe on the cross slide cam. Using the turret hand lever, advance the tool towards the part. There may be times when the tool will not have enough clearance to enter the part. Sometimes the tool will be too far away from the part. You will use the arm locating screw to make these required adjustments. Loosen the locking nut and adjust the screw until the tool will enter the part with proper clearance.